Hello and welcome to my channel, What's Up, What's His Face. I'm your host, and I'm sure you've guessed it, my name's What's His Face. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what you can expect to find right here on my channel. The whole reason I even have this channel and was able to make this video is in part what I would like to share with you today. The rest are things that I've learned and was able to explore that help out just as much, if not more, in most aspects of my life. I plan to learn just as much with all of you as we take our journey of dialogue and discovery, where we take a look at small incremental changes that can leave big impacts on our daily business, social, and recreational lives. Through changing ourselves, we can change the world for us and those around us. My personal journey started a couple years ago. Well, it didn't really start there, but that's a good place to start. When I got my yearly tax refund. Well, let me preface this story with telling you a little bit about how I used to live before this point. I had a great job and a wonderful family, but my spending habits were terrible. My Wells Fargo account was constantly overdrawn by at least a few $100s weekly just so I could stay afloat with the bills, food, and things that I would come back with from the convenience store. Not to mention the loans that I had accrued during desperate times. I and my family were tired of the stress that was brought on by life's normal trials, as well as the ones that were brought on by the bad spending habits that we have. And this is when we discovered that change was paramount. We needed to implement change into our lives so that we could break from the normal day-to-day stressful living that we had become accustomed to. And if it wasn't for change, we never would have been able to make it out. So now we come to the refund. And when I got my refund, I paid off most of my bills, I sorted out my account, and I left myself with about $1,000 after everything was all said and done. So I decided that I wanted to do something smart. I was ready for the change. So with this $1,000, instead of going and spending it on something that I really didn't need and buying something because I liked the feeling of having something new, I decided to do something else with it. So I went onto YouTube and I looked up what to do with $1,000. And there was a plethora of YouTube financial advisors that came on and said basically all the same thing. Pay off your loans. The interest is killing you. And then it hit me. Had I put myself into this situation? Had it really been that easy? Why had I done this in the first place? Was it even a good idea? Now the money sounded great at the time, but we soon found ourselves in a hole that felt like it was impossible to get out of. And that's when I started looking at my behavior. How had I accrued such bad practices? Discovering this prompted much more self-reflection and ultimately led me to here. I found out that all I had to do was make small changes. These small changes, over time, would become my new normal. And once they did, that would open me up to make more small changes. Eventually, I ended up right here, a point in my life where I'm happier than I've ever been, and I now have the ability to steer my life in the direction that I want it to go. Hopefully together, we can learn and grow to become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Stay tuned and come right back here for help and encouragement on making those changes with me. Alright guys, I want to say thank you so much for checking out my channel. Be sure to like and to subscribe down below, that way you can get all future videos. And just remember to try and be better tomorrow than you were today. Keep driving towards success.